So, afternoon. What we've got here in a woodland on the west coast of Scotland is my setup, Land Rover and trailer with a crane, and a bunch of grand fir that I took down the other day that a customer wants milled into beams for a swing blade sawmill shelter. My two biggest beams that I've got to cut are 9 meters in length, and it's grand fir. I've got a bunch of first cut rails joined together and leveled and squared up as much as possible. I'm using a combination of tech screws, the angle brackets that come with the mill, and trying out, I know Rob's just trying them, these air wedges, like hedgehog air wedges, for putting doors and windows in. They seem to work pretty well, and a combination of all of them screwing it down, and the angled stays and the bags and a few wooden wedges seem to get it square as much as possible. It's quite difficult getting the rails as straight as possible. And whether we can see here, I've spent a bit of time trying to level and make sure that there isn't any dip or bow in the rails. One thing I think would be useful is the joining brackets between the 1.5 meter sections. If they're a bit longer, probably twice the length, might help to keep the thing square. But however, I think it's pretty good for a first attempt, and obviously when I get to the end here, I'll be taking out these stays, these brackets that are screwed in just there, just to give it some support until I get up here. I must remember to take them out. I'm going to make a first pass, see what it's like. If I can get a 2x off of the top of this after, I will do. But my main piece of timber out of this is an 8 by 10 inch true timber. So we'll have a go. So there you can see we made the cut all the way down the log. Quite a long cut, but no problems at all. Nice and soft timber. That pico chain went through it with ease, and I didn't cut any of the airbags. I didn't hit any of the angle brackets, and so chain should still be pretty good. And the rails are just long enough for my saw frame to sit on the end of it. We'll take it down now and knock the slab off and see what we've got underneath. Okay, so next wee bit of video. I've taken off the top slab after I used the horizon mill, and now I've set up the rails just over to one side to take the minimum slab off of the vertical cut, using a 372 with a 20-inch bar on. It's the smallest low pro bar I've got. So we took the first cut off. Not too many issues apart from the ground coming up to meet the saw. Had to do a bit of clearing of turf and stones, but anyway, I didn't really get all of the wane off, so we're just going to take another cut. I got a bit of reg 2x3 here, so I've just used that as a spacer. Just made a mark, pencil mark on the log where my frame was, moved it over 45mm, and we'll get rid of that piece of wane, and it'll still leave a nice 2x8 or something like that. I actually changed that for the second cut. I made it so that I could take a 3x off the side there, and went through perfect. So I'm now going to move the frame back and go back to the horizon and take a slab off the top and get down so I'm near the heart, so I can take my big timber through the middle. So back at the 9 meter cant that we're making, I took 2 cuts off of the far side, vertical cuts, just a slab cut, and then I took a 3-inch cut, which I can then cut that off to either an 8x or a 10x3. On then this side, just taking off the slab again. We've got a bit of taper at the butt, or a bit of widening at the butt there, quite tapered log on this side. So I've come along with the 3 holes that I drilled in the bar. I had the saw up as far as I could, so I wasn't, nose was clear in the ground, But as I've got up here, the log's got more taper, more flare to it rather, and so I've just dropped it down a hole, and I should be able to get that slab off, and that'll give me something like another cut. I could take a 2x off of there and then come in with the Panther, with the Horizon, and take my 8 or 10, whatever we get down to this end, a little bit off center with the heart, and I wanted the heart right the way through this beam as it's so long. So I'm thinking that it's going to be I'm going to take a 2-inch slab off the top here, and then that'll bring it down to, it splits the heart, both tip and butt, and I should be able to get a horizontal 10-inch and a vertical 8-inch, and that'll pretty much use my log up of all usable timber, I think. But I will have got also a 3x and at least a 2x out of it, both at 9 meters, that can be cut down to a more usable time, it's a usable size. So yeah, okay.